with that cheery news in mind, let's have a chat to our food writer, Danny Valent, who joins us now to chew it all over.
Yeah,
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day, food writer and bacon fan Danny Valent.
There you go.
Do you eat it daily?
No, I don't eat it daily, and I think there are lots of good arguments why we should be eating less meat. But what I would like to dig into more with these studies is what sort of meat are people actually eating? And I would like to think if we're eating meat that's raised in more healthy ways, farmed less intensively, given less chemicals, then I think that the meat that comes out of that will be more healthy.
Well, that's the unprocessed meat. The processed meat is the question, though, and I have to admit that I have gone searching for organic bacon.
Yeah, it's not easy to find.
I don't think there's any such thing. There might be, but all I've found is free-range pork that's been turned into bacon. But you've still got the nitrates and all those things.
Well, you don't necessarily have to have it processed with all those nasties. And I think one of the problems is that we eat too much of it. Therefore, it's farmed intensively to meet demand.
Right.
And I think once we start being, more choosy, choosing better products rather than just, shoving it in, maybe the culture of the sausage sizzle has to change slightly. And maybe there's a few more lentil burgers on.
That's disastrous news for all those fundraisers on Saturday mornings that get out and have their sausage sizzled. So
you don't think people are going to go to the larger hardware chains and ask for a lentil sandwich?
Well, my problem with a lot of those lentil or soy sausages or burgers or whatever are incredibly highly processed.
They are.
And very, very high in fat.
They're not actually a healthy alternative.
No.
I think it's mushroom burgers. That's the future.
That you make yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Processed food we know is bad.
Is this sounding fun?
Oh, yeah, try selling that to the kids.
You're coming over to my joint with this, are you? Here,
mushroom
kids.
burgers.
Here's a mushroom burger. All right, let's turn to something just as addictive and very, very nice and surely good for you, coffee.
Coffee, I think in moderation. Most studies will agree that it's at least not bad for you, if not necessarily good for you, although you can, and I will pick and choose my studies and read the ones that say it's absolutely healthy.
Good.
So moderate consumption between 2 and 4 cups a day is not bad, and some people will tell you it reduces the risk of Alzheimer's, certain types of cancer, so perhaps that's why we have bacon and eggs with the coffee on the side. It's all about balance,
all
isn't
about
it?
counteraction, that's right. Now, look, we know that we're huge coffee consumers here in Australia. We import a staggering amount of beans, but what's our export nature as a coffee country?
So we're not exporting beans as such, but we are exporting our coffee culture around the world. So there are Australian-style cafes in New York, Paris, London, and Australian baristas are teaching how to make espresso in Singapore, New York, all kinds of places.
And what about those broader Europe? Has Australia been able to come back to Europe and pass on that culture?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Look what we stole from you and now we're doing it better style?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been, first we learnt that it wasn't cappuccino, it's cappuccino, and now we're going back to Australians are coming back from Italy saying actually the coffee's better here. And in Paris, there are Australian style cafes. In London, cafes will put out on their blackboards Australian or Kiwi barista. So
really?
it's a care in making the coffee. It's noticing where you're sourcing the beans from. Are they ethically sourced? Are they, and different ways of brewing the coffee that people are starting to appreciate it. Well, almost like wine.
It's always been hopeless, impossible virtually trying to get a decent cup of coffee in Paris, and I don't care what you say. The coffee there is universally lousy, so I can understand that export.
Yeah.
And we've been hearing some people speak about this, I think, Danny.
Well, look, I think that one of the things that I love about coffee is how specific you can be with your ordering, and when I think about that, I think about this scene from LA Story, which I absolutely love.
Yes.
I'll have a decaf coffee.
I'll have a decaf espresso.
I'll have a double decaf cappuccino. Do you have any decaffeinated coffee ice cream?
I'll have a half double decaffeinated half cap with a twist of lemon.
You coming to
I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon. I'll have a twist of lemon, please.
I'll have a twist of lemon.
I want a twist of lemon as well with that.
I want a twist of lemon. The best one I heard is, can I have the foam on the side?
And have you had an experience in Asia that you wanted to
Well, I did. Look, I was in
morning?
Singapore a little while ago and I saw a sign, selfie coffee, and I was like, this is bringing...
What does that mean?
So what that means is that you take a selfie, so a photo of yourself, they will print it onto your coffee, and then you can drink coffee through your own face.
Wow.
And I thought that has to be done, and there's me doing it. So it was meta on top of meta, and I felt incredibly modern and somewhat silly.
Can I just tell you, that's carcinogenic.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it was narcissistic.
Life gives you
That goes
cancer.
without saying.
Life gives you cancer, but at least I was awake.
That's right, but you've got to have a good life when it gives you cancer.
Yeah, definitely.
Danny, always good to see you. Thanks so much.
Congratulations, by the way, for introducing LA Story, a clip of LA Story. I've worked on this show for 7 years, and we've never gone. We've never gone and played a clip of one of my favourite movies.
The more Steve Martin, the better, in my view.
My favourite scene from that movie we can't play on this program because of, well, you know, things. But maybe one day we'll sneak it on somehow. Maybe a link to that scene.
Oh, I'm very
I'll tell
intrigued.
you off there.
Oh,
Nice
okay.
to see you, Danny. Thanks so much.